Yes, welcome back. Say Less Footy Tips. We are on. It's another big round of NRL. Thanks to NRL for the draw. Exciting games ahead that we're just going to pump straight into. The boys are back. They're over here, ready to go, vibing hard.
Hey.
Wow. Maybe I should just stop introducing them.
Next time we'll be good. We'll be good.
Bring some energy, boys.
It's the second time you've introduced us.
Hey, guys.
How you doing?
Welcome back.
It's like, buddy, the 10th or 11th, really.
No, that's fucking
I think we're up to like,
Hey, guys.
episode 11 or 12. I don't know.
we're up there.
Welcome back.
This is
Anyway,
12.
another big round of NRL kicking off Thursday night. Get your
popcorn out.
absolutely. We've got the Knights up against the Roosters first game. Now, Knights, their halves combination looking very settled in the wet. The Roosters played half of football last week. There's lots of big outs. Dom Young suspended. Tedesco and Walker out with HIAs. Joey Manu moves to the fullback where he absolutely ran for like 250 metres.
As usual.
Just huge at fullback. Joey Manu could play anywhere in the NRL as a fullback, but he's just so loyal to the Roosters that he's just...
So he should be.
I mean, yeah. Michael Jennings, I heard is it his 300th game, but they don't want to celebrate it because of his past indiscretions. The NRL would not acknowledge it, something like that.
Yeah,
Robert has come out either last night or this morning saying, no, 100% we are, as a club and as a team, we are celebrating that for him.
That's good.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't want to
300th cap.
Yeah, exactly. It is, but I don't want to touch on what his past indiscretions are. It's not something for our podcast. We don't really want to get involved in that. We talk about the love of footy. We talk about tactics. We talk about players. We stay away from all that other garbage.
That extra.
I support him, mate. 300 caps is huge. 300 caps is a big win.
Massive.
Connor Watson starting at 6. Love Connor Watson. And he just looks happy to be back, not injured, and back in the Roosters colours.
He's enjoying himself.
Seems like it.
I'm just looking for Egan Butcher. He's gone to 18th man after his 2-try performance on the weekend. Bit stiff.
Yeah. Rough.
But the Knights don't look fairly unchanged.
Croker? Did Croker play last week?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even notice. And now they got Brayley starting properly. Like, obviously, he started last week, but now... And he's captain as well, so back to it.
Yeah, Mazu still on back on the extended interchange. I'd say they're going to give him a run in New South Wales Cup before he comes back in after his injury. Definitely injured. Tom Jenkins actually played really well as cover, and Tuala he just puts himself in the right places when Ponga's throwing those amazing passes. So Tuala's been good. Gagai and Best were really strong last week. It's a good matchup. I'm still considering who I'm going to go for here.
Yeah, I don't know why Knights are paying such heavy on the favourite side of things, and Roosters are still at $2 plus.
I think it's just because they've got so many outs. People thinking, but
the Roosters,
got a stacked team.
Like percentage-wise, the Roosters win percentage at this venue is 73% compared to 55%, and their overall wins, Roosters tops them again by 56% compared to 45%.
That's some massive stats right there.
Stats, man.
The average points scored for Roosters end is 24 points to Knights for 17 here. So I don't know. For me, $2.45 is way too high for the Chookies. But if you want to make a nice bet, that's a good bet to start with. I reckon.
Gamble responsibly.
Yeah, gamble responsibly.
Also, I don't know if there's a stat there that talks about the winning rate that the Knights have on night games as well at McDonald Jones stadiums. I think that could be pretty high.
It's just got their win rate this season, and they're both at 40%, so they're both evens.
Yeah. Check out. I reckon the Knights do really well when they play night games at home. Let's move on. Let's get into the Storm versus Bulldogs. There is a host of changes around the Bulldogs. There are lots of obviously Blake Taff. HIA, Harrison Edwards with a neck injury, Kurt Mann also injured last week. There's a lot of players coming onto the extended reserves bench, but the big one back in, I guess, Addo Carr, and Stephen Crichton moving to fullback. This is going to be this could define the rest of the Bulldogs season. If he absolutely kills it at fullback, he's probably going to stay there for the rest of the year. It's going to be hard for Blake Taff to come back in. Matt Burton and Drew Hutchison starting to look a lot more settled together. I think Serraldo's starting to figure out how they can play together, and they're also figuring out how they can work together. Kickow is finally starting to hit his Penrith form for the Bulldogs. I just looking at you got Munster with another game under his belt. Jerome Hughes just getting better every game, and that second row lock for Melbourne is just like it's looking really good. The
Solid
way that
now.
the link play with Katoa and Hughes, Sean Blaw's coming into his own, which is
Played a massive game last week.
he's just absolutely huge. And Trent Liero is probably he's really maturing and stepping up to the first grader that he is destined to be.
Wishart.
Teams are slow. That the Storm team's slowly getting obviously their weaker side of their team was the forward pack last year, as everyone knows, and it's good to see them kind of sorting it out and kind of tidying everything up. I'm pretty sure though, Kickout and King both had injuries, so obviously they've been named, but I'm unsure if they'll even play. So. It's pretty tight, but even Christian Welsh back this week as well should be massive. But and even with that forward rotation, you got Curran starting in the second row. You saw him; he switched to prop how many times, during the start of the season, and then they've got Sam Hughes who played massive minutes last week. So I'm not sure what they're going to do with that rotation. But and Farmasuli's back as well, so they got a lot to sort out with that 4-pack rotation, but. I'm pretty sure they can get it done.
Just quickly, speaking of forward packs, Miroa played absolutely huge game for the Bears on the weekend and is onto the interchange bench in front of Nelson again on the extended reserves. What's Nelson got to do?
I think he's going to take a bit to come in. I've seen everywhere that it was just match fitness. That's all it was. He'd been injured the whole off-season, didn't get much of a pre-season training. Bellamy's playing it smart. You don't want to bring him in and, the 4-pack's going well so far. Bring him in later, give him a bit more time. When he comes in, we already know the damage he can do. And they came out and said he's not for sale as well on top of that.
Yeah, I've seen
so
that.
it's going to be massive. I reckon as soon as they bring him in, it will be the right time. There's no rush to it.
Yeah, Bellamy knows what he's doing. Plus the young fella's getting he's getting the boots dirty as well. It'll be good to see him out there. I don't reckon he'll get a run though till the second half.
Yep, I'm there with you. King and Tui, Welsh. King has a massive engine. He can go for ages. So yeah, it's going to be a good game, but pretty sure I'm going to still stick with the Storm.
Harry Grant as well. Bit of chat last week on Harry Grant, mate, and he played phenomenal on the weekend, I thought. It wasn't part of my shining stars, but he did play very, very well. You got some stats there? What are you going to do?
I wouldn't say stats, but we put it out to our followers on our social media, had a little vote around the best hooker, and if I can just read through the results here, let's see with the votes. The votes I had Appy, Harry, JMK, and Wade Egan as who is the best hooker. Appy's taken up 43% of the vote. Wade Egan 29% of the vote, and Harry and JMK with 14% of the vote. So
massive.
Wade Egan, yeah.
I know Wade Egan's
fair play.
crazy. We won't get into that.
Wait, when we talk about the Warriors, we'll get onto that. But Harry Grant is an absolute winner. He's so good. He is in the top echelon of hookers. Just a quick shout out to the young man Bailey Hayward is getting his debut with the Bulldogs as well.
Didn't see that. Let's go.
Anyway, let's move on to the Battle of Suncorp. Broncos up against Dolphins.
I can't wait till this game.
The hype around this game last year when Katoni Staggs scores that try. This is our house.
Tough. That was tough.
Walsh has been named.
Back.
Hammer versus Walsh.
So an 8-week injury, facial injury, 6 to 8 weeks. He's back after 2 weeks with his little pink headgear. I feel like he could be. He's got to wear the headgear.
That's funny though. His little pink headgear.
Have you not seen him in training?
He's got the sparkly top, little pink headgear.
Yeah, it's got the little pink headgear.
I'm not disrespecting the pink headgear.
I like the pink headgear.
I've seen it today. He's out there with pink headgear. It'd be stupid if he came back and didn't have headgear on. So
it's funny because you said little pink headgear. The way you said it.
It makes him look like he has a smaller head because he's got this big blonde locks and he puts the headgear on and it's just like a little tiny head. But Corey Oates starting.
Let's move on.
Obviously with Dean Mariner being injured. Jesse Arthur's been huge. Jock Madden coming in for Reynolds. Reynolds is a big loss.
Yeah, massive.
Payne Haas obviously still out. Paddy Carrigan's been huge. Like the forwards have been really, really good for the Broncos. I also heard today that Jordan Ricky is in doubt.
Yeah, I saw that. Jordan Ricky, yeah.
So
That's going to be massive for them.
So Tristan Saylor's done a great job in the absence of Walsh. I think Walsh is going to be 50-50. We're filming in this on Wednesday afternoon. You know, by the time this game comes around, I think we'll sort of
could see if he actually comes out.
I mean, I don't think the Broncos lose a lot of X factor. Like Saylor's absolutely fantastic. If that changes, I reckon they're going to bring on someone like a Ben Takura back onto the bench.
Oh, Big Ben.
Xavier Williamson's there.
Yeah.
Kobe Hetherington there. Tyson Smoothie can be a utility, and then you just have another big body on the bench. Like you need to have it. Like Jared Wallace has got his place back on the bench for Dolphins. James Kay and Thomas Flegler were so good for, along with Katoa and Hammer for Dolphins last week. Like. And Tessie New is back in the...
Yeah. Herbie injured. Tessie in.
Oh, yeah. Herbie's injured. That's right. The collarbone. I think it's a collarbone.
AC joint.
Oof.
Basically just on the collarbone, between the collarbone and the shoulder.
That's tough.
That's 3 to 6 weeks.
Oh, 3 to 6.
It's a tough one, bro, for footy, especially because you're using those shoulders so heavily.
Exactly.
It's toughy.
Any more on that, boys, or we move on to Saturday's game?
It'll be a big good game. I'm looking forward to seeing this.
Yeah,
looking forward to seeing Walshy back.
My main thing is I want to see how Hammer does, honestly. Like
Hammer does?
Yeah, this guy. I want to see how Hammer does because been versing such, like, not trash, but relaxed defense.
Whoa.
I said not trash, but relaxed.
He was doubting Hammer this week.
I'm not doubting him. I want to see him against a really, really strong defensive team. They're one of the best defensive teams in the NRL, and I want to see how he does because a lot of the time with those tries, someone would break through that line and he'd pop it off to Hammer. I want to see if he can create his own space. You know what I mean?
Have you seen the Broncos for and against this year? It's not. Is
it shocking?
It's not. They're in 11th, bro. Like
Hammer do be getting a try this weekend, guaranteed. Bet money. Hammer do.
I want that. I want that.
You know what he's going to do? He's going to split the D.
Damn, that's wild, bro. You can't say that, bro. That's wild.
Oh, wow. Anyway, let's move on to what I think could be the game of the round. Warriors up against Eagles. These two are my early grand final predictions. Just both of these teams have come on leaps and bounds this year. I just hope that the Manly can stick to that simple game plan. Let DC do what he does. Let Brooksy run. Let Tommy do what he does. Like the forwards have seen what they can do for Manly now. But I think this is the biggest test for them so far this year,
for sure.
Like I know they got beaten by the Eels, but I just think the forward pack, just the whole team, the Warriors, they're at Go Media Stadium in Auckland. Right, and DWZ is back. Like they just keep getting stronger. Kurt Capel's back.
Yeah.
Holy, like
massive.
Oh, Jacob Laban, the absolute just legend he is going to be of a player, has obviously kept his side. He played the absolute house down last week. Manly side unchanged except obviously Ruben Garrick getting injured really early in the game. Tavojevic has moved into centres. I think Benny's great.
He's playing well.
Just the speed. Like he's coming up against Rocco Berry, so that's a great matchup of two absolute young guns. And Kohler up against RTS. That's a big.
RTS is just gonna.
Well, he's not gonna get beaten for speed.
I know, but that footwork, bro. Oh, scary. Scary.
Yeah, just looking through the whole team list, this is absolutely the game of the round. I'm big on Manly this year. I'm huge on Manly. Obviously, I say DC is going to win the Dally M, but like
you're sucking them off, bro. You're loving them.
You can't fault this Warriors team.
Yeah, I reckon Dallin for a hat trick this weekend. Now looking at it, Martinez Lesniak.
Who's he lining up against?
You reckon?
Against
Tommy Talau.
No,
Barlow.
So Burbo, without that speed, he's gonna shuffle in. That will get Barlow in. Bro, Chan's out to the long ball out to the right side, bro. Dallin's on all day, I reckon. Hat trick, I reckon.
Get on it, guys. Gamble responsibly, but yeah, that's his.
I reckon on.
It's probably the best thing you've said all year. I reckon you're absolutely on that.
I'm against it.
What, really?
Yeah, no, I reckon he's
Why?
going to score. I reckon he's going to get a hat trick for sure.
I reckon he's on. The way they use that right side.
No, they'd be focusing on that in defense.
True. But
they know that's a weak point for them. They'd be focusing on that.
Bearbo's speed, I reckon that's going to... Well, he's not slow, but he's not a centre fast, you know what I mean? So we're going to see, but I reckon on hat trick.
$20.
No, $20. Hat trick for a hat trick. No.
Do you think the Warriors are actually going to win?
I reckon. I'm tipping the Warriors.
I reckon Wires win easy.
I'm tipping them for sure.
I've been on Manly all year, and I'm like, this one's just sort of
It's way too hard.
Yeah, it's so hard. I might even tip a draw. I don't know. It's a big game, and perfect little time slot for a bit of Saturday afternoon perching. All right, on to the Saturday game at 5:30. Eels and Cowboys. Cowboys bounce back against a lackluster Titans. Look, a better Titans, but the Cowboys didn't really finish it off. Chad Townsend gets off with the what do you call it? The old hip drop.
That was hard.
Mate, it's hip drops are a joke. Absolute joke. Bryce Cartwright back into the team. That is a massive in. He has played the absolute house down. He's back on the extended reserves, or he's back on the bench. Sorry,
he's back in. He's in.
Oh no, he's in. He's
Starting.
in second row. Yeah, that's huge. That's a massive in. They've kept Brown at 7, and now they're trying Dejan Arce. As much as the Cowboys didn't finish too well last week, they started really well, and the Eels aren't the best at chasing. The Eels like to get in front and hold on. Even though it's a CommBank, I don't think it's a fortress that the Eels have had in past seasons. I think the Cowboys get away with this one.
Yeah, I said it last podcast. Eels and Dragons this year have both been hot and cold. You want them to win, then they shit the bed, and then all of a sudden you think they're down and out, and they'll come back and destroy it, have a huge game by 20 plus points. So yeah, for me it's just toughy. I don't think they'll get the win, but who knows?
That Cowboys outfit is looking really strong. Top Hayden's doing really well with them, and Scotty Drinkwater's on. Valholm's on. That's what I mean. Cotter, you know what I mean? You can be scared of that real big bounce back game from a team that's lost against the Tigers, which was rough, and then gets smashed by the Raiders. Their bounce back game was meant to be the Raiders, so you never know. They could come back and smash it, but I definitely still think the Cowboys are going to be way too strong.
All right, on to the next game now, and it is Rabbitohs up against Sharks. This is a big game for the Bunnies. They are currently sitting in 17th spot. Obviously, Latrell's out with a suspension, and the young man, Jai Gray, comes in. Exciting young man. Ty Munro is finally back after an injury, so he comes straight onto the wing for Alex Johnson. And the big one, Cookie, is on in 18th man. Peter Mamazoulis comes in the 9. He's come in and filled a position for Cookie in the past and done a really good job. Just you'd think that Cookie would at least start on the bench and there'd be some sort of rotation. For the Sharks, Britton Nakora is back along with Braden, Hamlin Ueli, Toby Rudolph, and Sam Stonestreet onto the extended reserves bench. Atkinson back to the extended reserves. Iro keeps his spot in the centres. This is a must-win game for the Rabbits.
Yes.
Sharks are looking good. Boys, what do we think?
Yes.
I was just trying to find something then on Cookie, but he's come out saying how devastated he is at the minute that he's been, dropped down to 18th man, because obviously he wants to be a part of the team's success, and he thinks he can be in there to help lead the way. But yeah, big loss for him, unfortunately.
I think one thing I want to see with the Sharks is how they use Talakai. Obviously Iro has got that their centre spot, so I'm not sure if they bring him in for Teague Wilton or just have him sitting there just in case. But we know he can play second row, but you're not going to take Nikora off. He's an 80-minute second rower, so it could be Wilton. But No, Hines is kind of getting back into his groove. Obviously, after that Raiders game, he looked real good, getting back into the groove. So it's going to be good, and it's going to be hard for Bunnies to win, but they need to. It's a must win this week. So it's going to be massive. It's going to be a good game, though.
If it's a must win, are you tipping them?
Oh, hell no. No chance, man.
Yeah, facts. Jai Gray, I don't know how he's going to go. He's obviously on his debut, slipping in for Latrell Mitchell. Yeah, they've got a lot of things to work on internally, I think. Even AJ has come out saying a couple of things about JD and Latrell Mitchell during the week. Latrell's been offered an award between him and Tass. Been offered a club award on the tackle that they made on Josh Adokar a couple of weeks ago that put Josh Adokar out. And AJ basically bounced back saying, no, that's ridiculous. It was an illegal tackle. Why are we giving
supporting that?
Yeah. So yeah, there's a few things going on inside that we're finally starting to hear about inside the South group. So it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen.
Massive.
Oh, look, traditionally the media comes out with their knives out on top 8 teams, and now the Rabbitohs are down below. Now all of the straight bats coming back from the management and the CEO and all sort of stuff. Now the truth's starting to come out. If teams like Storm, Panthers, Broncos start being down the bottom, that all comes out. How many years of like the Dragons, the Tigers, the Titans, like just taking an absolute kicking? Yeah. Bulldogs as well. Like it's look, you don't want to see anyone thrown under the bus and people losing their jobs and stuff like this, but it's finally the tables have turned. The journalists are finding some other stuff to dig out. There's so much stuff there. I don't think JD lasts the season. And for a young man like Jai Gray, who has so much talent, to come in up against a informed team while your team's struggling, like it's real tough to make your debut in this sort of circumstances. But look, we've seen a lot of young players come through this year and absolutely kill it. Like tips are this, even if South lose, I think Jai Gray plays a huge game.
I hope he does just push the noise out and just play footy. That's what he needs. That's what they need.
Yeah.
All right, moving on now. Let's get on to the Sunday game. Big battle here. Tigers up against Dragons. Look, after our performance against the Dolphins, look, my confidence isn't as high as it was after the couple of wins in a row. Seeing the Tigers live, there's Jaden Sullivan played a lot better last week. I still can't wait for Lockie Galvin to be back in. Fainu looked really, really good. He's obviously out. I think he had a bit of a hamstring soreness or something around there. Bateman's out with a head knock along with Samuela Fainu. The Dragons are hot and cold. Like we could have the greatest Dragons team come out and absolutely put a cricket score. They did actually beat the Tigers in a trial, and this is what worries me about Jaden Sullivan on that side. He's obviously got Juzzy Olam to back him up, but we're also missing Johnny Bateman there. So my worry is like the likes of, let's say, Jaden Sewer and Moses Sully just running through Jaden Sullivan. Like there's Tyrell Sloan obviously got a bit of a battering for his performance in the wet. I don't know what the forecast is for Campbelltown Stadium on Sunday, but look, I'll always stick with my team. I'm just really not confident. Ben Hunt and Flanagan is just a fantastic halves pairing. Jacob Little is always good and plays really well against the Tigers, his old team. Yeah, like the interchange, Matamua and Kapoa are going to get their first starts for the year. Hopefully they have big games as well. Kapoa can play a range of positions. Yeah. He can play pretty much anywhere in the back line and anywhere in the back row. So with all the injuries and stuff happening around, I want to see a big game from Clemmer. Clemmer's probably been our worst forward, but he keeps his position in there because we don't really have another big sizable forward. And IPAP's been a little bit better. His defense has been better, but just watching him live at Suncorp Stadium, and it's the same as last year. His fitness isn't the best. Probably one of the slowest forwards I've ever seen. You watched him with a chase back on Khaleesa Fusi last week.
Hilarious.
And just he keeps finding himself just bludging out in the centres. Like he's not an 80-minute player. You need to put him in a rotation. It's not going to happen this week because we don't have Johnny Bateman. But yeah, IPAP, need to work on your fitness. Boys, that's all I'll say on that.
Oh. No, I love it. Yeah, this season alone, though, the Tigers are showing a bit of form. They've conceded less points than the Dragons have this season already. For Dragons, it's 130 points to Tigers 80. Completion rate, Tigers have a better completion rate at 82%. Tackle efficiency, just slightly less than what the Dragons have at the minute. I think... Yeah, despite how you're feeling towards your team at the minute, I think they have a good run up against this team.
Yeah, same. I'm on the same page as you. I think they do get up. And even like Aiden Caesar last week looked really good. So I reckon they can still get over it. Like, it's not really like don't know. Like, I feel pretty confident in the Tigers getting the win over the Dragons.
The good thing is the experienced players, well, some of the experienced players like Appy, is playing injured and playing big, and Aiden Caesar experienced, and he's just playing good. Yeah, just to finish up on the West Tigers, obviously Appy's been huge, a little bit under an injury cloud, and Aiden Caesar his kicking game's solid, but we need to just kick to the corners and stop putting up just sort of deep kicks straight down the fullback's throat. So if the West Tigers can do that, kick to the corners, not let them run out in defence, then I think we're going to do pretty well there. Anyway, enough on that. We'll move on to the last game. Raiders up against Titans. Raiders were fantastic last week. Titans are a little bit better. They're still keeping AJ Brimson in the centres. Kieran Foran's under a little bit of an injury cloud. Maybe Foran comes in. Jaden Campbell is under an injury cloud as well. Rapana's out. Chevy Stewart at the back. James Schiller's been good. Timoko, Chris, Savage were all fantastic, along with Strange, Fogarty. We can go through the teams, but Beau Fermor, it's good to see him back playing really well, but I think the Raiders just do this in an absolute canter. I can't see them. I can't see the Titans beating them. We could be shocked, but I doubt it. Boys, do you think anything else? No.
Horsburgh and Rapana are out. Rapana will be out for a little while. Zach Hosking back. Woolford, Mooney, Croddick, Chevy Stewart. There's a few back in the squad. I don't think this will be. I think it's pretty black and white, this one.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Hosking back as well.
Yeah, Hosking back as well. Yeah, no, Xavier Savage is just looking too good. Eden Strange looking great. Jamal Fogarty, all the names you mentioned. Tim Moko as well, playing really, really good footy. I don't see the Titans making much of an effort coming out of that bottom slot this week.
Yes, I'm right there with you. It's like you said
concur.
Everything. Yeah. Yes.
Enough said on that. Look,
say less.
Getting to the end of the podcast, we haven't given our tips yet, so another great round, boys. I'm going to start this week. I'm just going to pull it out of the air. There's some really good matchups here, but I'll pump my tips out. You boys pump your tips out. We'll wrap it up for this week. Anyway, right, let's start. Thursday night, Knights over the Roosters. I'm going to stick with the Knights at home. Storm over Bulldogs. Easy one there. Broncos, Dolphins. I'm going to go for the Broncos. I don't think the Dolphins are ready to beat them. Warriors over Seagulls. Closest game, best game, Warriors. Cowboys, Eels. Cowboys. Rabbitohs, Sharks. West Tigers over Dragons. And the Raiders over the Titans. Pretty easy for me. Preston.
I got the exact same as you. Like, exact same. So I got Knights over Roosters, Storm over Doggies, Broncos over Dolphins, Wars over Manly, North Queensland over Para, Sharks over Bunnies, Tigers over Drags, and Raiders over the Titans.
Brendo.
Copy that. We'll change it up for Roosters over the Knights. I think they can do it. Storm over the Doggies every day of the week. Yeah, I'm going to tip the upset here. I'm going to go Dolphins over Broncos. Have to. Warriors over Seagulls. Cowboys over the Eels. Sharks to win against the Bunnies. I too am going for the Tigers this week. And I've got the Raiders over the Titans 100%.
Couple of outsiders there for Brendo, trying to make up a bit of ground in the tipping comp that I'm leading by 4 once again. But hey, you got to go. I'm obviously myself and Preston have tipped all of the favourites this week, and I'm a little bit worried. I do like your tip with the Dolphins over the Broncos. Yeah. I'm going to stick with that. I worry without Adam Reynolds, are the Broncos going to get over the Dolphins?
Walsh is back, but I reckon he's going to be hesitant. If he gets in a head knock, he's not going to be putting his body on the line. 100%. So I think he's going to play a bit more reserved. Yeah. And for me, that's where Hammer's just going to come in and just going to kill it. So I can't believe either of you went for the Broncos. So I'm very surprised.
All right, boys. Thanks for your tips. Thanks for joining us.
This is a clap like that.
Yeah. You want to give us a... Boys, thanks for coming. Anything else to say?
Thanks for having us, mate. We've got an outro from Preston as well, please, mate. Just give us that quick outro.
No.
Wow. Boys got confidence. Anyway, if you made it to the end, you're an absolute legend. Follow, like, subscribe, comment down below. Send the comments. Comments push it out to the algorithm. Bloody, that's the tips done. Stay less. Peace out. You
forgot the outro. What's the other one that you usually do?
Say hi to him, mate. It's been a long day.